It seems like we got another tax hike in the state of Illinois, really Chicago and the surrounding counties. Let's see what has to do with it, man. This is crazy.
Weekend, you're going to be paying a little more. Starting tomorrow, sales tax across Chicago and 5 collar counties will be going up.
WGN's Brian McCray reports on what this will look like for your wallet.
It's no secret, living in certain parts of Illinois, things can add up fast, especially in Chicago.
The taxes keep going up, and Illinois is like the highest taxes in the country.
On Saturday,
Literally.
another tax hike takes effect.
It's kind of gut-wrenching. I think that is going to affect things, and I think it's really hard, and it's egregious.
Local store owner Sarah Plocker is talking about Senate Bill 2111. The bill passing in Springfield last October, voting to raise sales tax from 10.25% to 10.5%.
All we ever do is just keep raising the prices and raising the prices and raising the prices and doing more and not cutting back on anything
Right.
or living within the lane that you should or what we can afford.
Illinois State Representative Steve Reich in McHenry County opposing the bill, saying the people in his county are being asked to shell out money for a system they don't use.
This is just another way of paying for something that should be dealt with in another manner. And McHenry County, I'll be honest with you, has no business being part of this bureaucracy.
The increase going into
Facts.
effect will hit all of Chicago, including the 5 collar counties, DuPage, Kane, Lake, McHenry, and Will. Democratic State Senator Ram Villavam, who spearheaded the bill, sent WGN this statement, reading in part, as part of Senate Bill 2111 to create a world-class public transit system in Illinois that is safe, reliable, accessible, and integrated.
I don't think it will ever stop. It'll just keep going up and up and up. And that's just the way Illinois works.
Yeah, unfortunately, y'all feed into it. Y'all protesting. Y'all not against it. You're too busy worrying about what Trump is doing. Trump is lowering the taxes. Y'all hiring the taxes up. Look, at the end of the day, it didn't go up too much. It went up 0.25%, but that's just 0.25% more than I had to pay a day before. And that's the problem. They saying, oh, we're going to fund the transit system. Look, that's the reason why you said you upped the taxes on the tolls. That's the reason why you increase other taxes in states outside of places that even get the public transportation. You know what I'm saying? They're not talking about the Metro, the Union Station. They're talking about the PACE. They're talking about the CTA. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. It's like they're just going to tax you at the wazoo until y'all complain about it. But what's going to happen is they're going to eat it, and then they're going to just complain temporarily like this woman, and then they're just going to continue about their day. That's exactly what's going to happen. Nothing's going to change. This has been going on forever. Like, taxes are going to increase. And the problem I'm having is with this, people, for the people that's in the state of Illinois, you know this. Like, it's not just Chicago. It's Cook County. Cook County, bro. DuPage County. Kane County. Lake County. McHenry County. And Will County, nigga. Joliet. Up in Skokie. Up in Kane County, J. You going all the way damn near to Aurora. From Chicago. You going 40 miles out in every direction from Chicago, from Cook County, 40 miles out in every direction, and we're going to tax all of them because they're the ones with the highest population. Everyone outside of that, it doesn't really matter because the population is so small. You get what I'm saying? But then again, can you complain? Because at the end of the day, I complain because I don't vote that way. I vote against all this shit, to be honest. I don't vote with JB Priest. I'm anti him, right? And the only reason I'm like that is because of the fact that guys like that, they smile in your face. Like, I tell people this, and I'm gonna stand on business with this. JB Priester is a wolf in a sheep outfit. And he sits there and he smiles in your face. He goes on the gay pride parades. He says anti-Trump. He says anti-ICE. And then he looks at your face and then tax you more money. And then he justifies it by saying it's for the transit system. Sir, you've already increased our tax for that reason. This year, by the way. Already. Twice. And now they're putting more taxes on, but because this is what they do, ladies and gentlemen. I want you to know what happens in the state of Illinois. What they do is they try to alleviate tax temporarily from other sectors of the country, temporarily, may I add. And if you don't know, if you're in the state of Illinois, J.B. Priester was supposed to speak on the tax for gasoline. The tax of it was supposed to be because he did an exemption where he removed it. And when you remove tax off of gasoline, of course, the gasoline either stagnates to where it was at because of the tax, or it drops lower. But that was only for a certain amount of time. So what JB Prister do is he prolonged it for 6 more months. What's happening in 6 months, G? The midterm election. So he paused it for 6 more months so then y'all can be distracted. And y'all be like, oh man, the tax is good. As soon as he's in order, he might pause it again. But they do it. They only do it for the amount of time they're in office, so then you can reelect them to keep it going. But that's not it. He also tried to remove the tax on food, but not snacks. Only like I believe it has to be food. He removed the tax on it, but then he put the tax back. He took the tax off of food items, but increased the sales tax on everything else to justify him removing the tax from the food items. So in a way, we do have pros in the state of Illinois. We don't pay tax on certain food items, but we have increased taxes on other food items. So that's just what it is, ladies and gentlemen. Like we eat it. That's it. You know, people gonna justify it, and it's not gonna stop people from spending stupid money. It's not gonna stop people from running the credit cards, running the debit cards. Y'all just gonna look up and be like, oh, what's 10 cents? What's 0.25 of a cent? Yeah, look, what 0.25 of a cent is just gonna add to every time you make a purchase. You get what I'm saying? So yes, it's 10.50%. But we gotta eat something like, say, if you're not in Cook County, Will County has to eat it. McHenry County has to eat it. Will County, Kane County, Lake County, they all got to, DuPage County, they all got to eat that too, because Chicago's making bad choices with their money, and they're trying to squeeze the limit as much as they can to get as much as they can out of it. Even though, and remember, ladies and gentlemen, they're never going to remove that. You think they're going to remove the sales tax and bring it back down? They will never do that. So when they increase sales tax, when they increase property tax, when they increase requirements on things, bro, when they fund things that don't need actual money, they just make jobs up to launder the money back into their pockets. Like the sales tax on marijuana in our state, they have a fund that just holds it. The whole time they're using that money to make money. I'm just letting y'all know what's going on in the state of Illinois, ladies and gentlemen. This is actually going on. You can Google it. They hide money. Like, they're basically laundering it. I'm not going to say directly they're laundering it, but they're basically doing it. They're taking the money and they're hiding it. They're moving it around, but they're not spending on how they're supposed to spend it. So they're just increasing the tax on this little old lady. Y'all see this little lady right here? Old lady. Crow's feet. She's stressing. How they going to do that to her? Don't tell me you can look this old lady in the face and say, tax her more. I could never. But that's just what it is in the state of Illinois, ladies and gentlemen. So if you live here, you know, at least you're in those areas. I'm within these borders. I'm within Cook, DuPage, Will, Kane, and McHenry, and Will County. You know what I'm saying? Lake County. And that's majority of everybody pretty much in Chicago and Chicago suburbs. So eventually, JB Prister did also propose, ladies and gentlemen, that he wants to now start charging everyone for bags. So that's literally a state of Chicago, as a city of Chicago thing, where they charge you 10 cents per bag that you use. And the example is like, well, we want to charge you for bags because we want you to use reusable bags. Really, they just want to charge your ass money for a plastic bag. So JB Prister proposed that we do it to the whole state and not just the city of Chicago. See the problem here? The officials in the city of Chicago, they're spending money out the wazoo. They're laundering it, whatever they're doing. They're not paying people their pensions. So they look up to the governor. The governor's like, you know what? Do it to the whole state. Let's charge the whole state it. We can make more money. Let's up the tolls on the whole state, because the state of the city of Chicago can't afford their systems, because they're not balancing their budget correctly, because they're advocating money to the wrong directions. And this is almost public, ladies and gentlemen. This is public. This isn't something that is like hidden. You can Google all this shit, you know what I'm saying, and find this information out. It's just the fact that this is the reason why we're losing the Bears. Bears going to Indiana. Why? Because they're trying to put tax on entertainment. So when you buy a ticket at the Bears Stadium, they're trying to tax you more. They're trying to put more tax on shit. They're like, man, we can play no sales tax over in Indiana at all. The tickets will actually be cheaper. You just got to go 17 minutes down the street. And it's next to a casino. You can have some fun. You know what I'm saying? You can enjoy yourself. So that's the thing, ladies and gentlemen. Eventually, we're going to push people out of the state that can't afford the high taxes. And we're going to pretend like we can hold it until you can't afford to move. Like I tell people, eventually it's going to come to an aspect, and I'm not over exaggerating here. The lady just said we have the highest taxes in the country. We sure do. We have the highest property tax in the whole country, the state of Illinois. It would not be wise for you to buy a home in this state. Just saying. You would be better to go to Indiana. You would be better just to cross the tracks and buy a home right there off the tracks on the other side of the border. You get a better bang for your buck. You get what I'm saying? The state is just not becoming desirable as much as it used to be. You know what I'm saying? It's losing its stocks. The stocks are down in the state of Illinois. Definitely in Chicago. So y'all tell me what y'all think about this in the comments section. This is very a shame. Like, I don't like to think about these situations because this is my home state. This is my home city. One day we might have to leave it, unfortunately, because the leadership. Now, I'm going to say this one more thing and I'm going to get off. It's not just the fact that they're upping the tax. It's the rules. It's the lack of security. It's the liberalism. I'm going to be honest, bro. The state is so liberal, bro. And I don't want to make this political, but they're forcing certain things on our children. We know what it is. I don't want to say it. They're forcing things on our kids. They're making them live this certain lifestyle. So your kids are being degenerate. They're increasing your tax. Your tax is going to be so much eventually, bro. You're not going to be able to afford to leave. You're going to have to stay because it will be almost impossible to leave because of it's so expensive to leave from the area. It's almost like a trap. So I want you guys to think about this situation when you are coming to the state of Illinois. Spend your money, think about things, but think about how expensive things are. They're trying to turn this into a little like mini New York City. They're trying to put tolls up in the north side so you can get into the city. I'm like, what's going on, bro? They're trying to tax us for every little thing. Y'all increasing taxes over time. Like, what about the people that can't afford this shit? What about there's a lot of homeless people or just poor people. And then you're mad that you have to give them benefits to survive. It's a catch-22, ladies and gentlemen. And if you live in this state, you would know. You know exactly what I'm talking about, man. Y'all look at the state from the inside looking out. Y'all might think, oh, JB Priss is a great guy. Look, the nigga's he's a wolf. He's a wolf he's a wolf in a sheep outfit, bro. And he hides amongst the sheep, and then he pretends like he's the great Dun Don. You know what I'm saying? The one that's the savior. He pretends like he's the savior, but really he's causing the problems. It's your boy Angelo Savage. Y'all tell me what y'all think about this in the comments section. If you know, you know. If you don't, you won't. Y'all make sure y'all subscribe to that. It's your boy Savage. This is a Savage Report. Peace.